I use YouTube. But I'm gonna give you guys the whole situation, what happened. Um, Basically, I was speaking a lot of truth on TikTok, and you know what they do with truth, man. They try to silence it. So I'm gonna leave this live up like I do always. It's your boy Loyal Link Lenny, and guys, yeah, I'm just the type of person. The more people try to silence me, right? The more the more resistance, the more I want to make content. So guys, I'm gonna give you guys a little update with what's been going on with me, man. But like I said, I'm gonna leave this up on replay, which is what I like about YouTube. I like this about YouTube because on TikTok, the lives don't stay up. So I'm gonna be leaving this video up for anybody to watch it on replay, right? And basically what's been going on is my main platform, Loyal Link's main platform is on TikTok. And what ended up happening is my first account got banned again for speaking too much truth, man, and that's really it. I'm being targeted by secret societies, cults, and a lot of people that I've been exposing over the last 2 years. So there's been a group effort. There's been a lot of money being put into mass reporting my account, and that just makes me want to go harder. It gets me all fueled up, and it basically puts me in go mode. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing, guys. And I understand I don't have, my normal following like I do on TikTok, but it's okay because that just means I got a lot of work to do. I could just build it up right on YouTube. So basically what happened with my original TikTok is I was about to blow up on there. I had 6,000 followers, put a lot of hard work in there, was basically making content every day, and eventually got banned. So instead of giving up, instead of allowing the kingdom of darkness and the enemy to have their way, it just got me more fueled. It just got me more fueled up. So I made another account, and not even 2 to 3 months later, I basically got all that following back. Almost got those 6,000 followers back, and that's how I know I can do it. I know I can do it because I did it once before, and if I got to restart on YouTube, that's exactly what I want to do. So the kingdom of darkness and these little secret societies and little cults that I've been exposing, they're not gonna stop this. They can try. They can try to ban every account they want. They can keep doing what they're doing. I'm also a TI, guys. I don't know if you know what that means, but shout out to all my targeted individuals. And basically, yeah, guys, we're gonna get into it. So basically what I was just talking about on TikTok before my live got suspended, before my live access got suspended, right? So that's how you know I was spitting. You know you're spitting something and you're talking something powerful when your live access gets suspended, right? So we're gonna continue that conversation on here, guys. I'd appreciate if you guys could hit the like button, show some love by sharing. And I'm hoping I could get the same people that were on. Hey, what's going on, Phoenix? I'm hoping I could get my same followers that were on TikTok to cross over here. That would be awesome. All right. That's why I keep my link in the bio. So I got the link for this channel in the bio, but I only got like 98 subscribers on here. But this is what I'm saying, guys. If you continue to chase your dreams and you continue to work hard and you speak passionately and you don't allow these secret societies and the kingdom of darkness to have their way, then I promise you, if you don't give up and you do what I'm doing, soon as they try to kick you when you're down, soon as they try to silence you and get you banned, you just make another account and do it all over again. You know what I'm saying? It should get you more fired up. You should want to go even harder now, right? So, guys, I was basically talking about what a cult was, and I was basically going into ways you can identify a cult, right? So what I said on TikTok was, and guys, feel free to drop your comments. Feel free to engage, say what's up, and I'll respond. Sun's in my eyes right now. So anyways, guys, one of the ways you can tell it's a cult is, obviously, it's secretive, right? So there's going to be an inner circle, and if you're not in the inner circle, they're not gonna reveal anything. They're gonna sometimes tell, oh, you're not a part of the inner circle. Yeah, man. Translation, you're not a part of our cult, right? So it's gonna be very secretive. It's gonna be very closed off, and there's gonna be conditions, right? There's gonna be rules, and they're going to slowly work on you to the point where it's gonna look like it's innocent, right? They're gonna ask you to do certain things, right? They're gonna basically over time force their ideologies onto you, force their beliefs onto you, and it's gonna be quite evident because if you don't do what they say, they're gonna consequence you. They're gonna stop inviting you. They'll stop hanging around you and shit, and that's basically the cult's way of, giving you a consequence. So if it's a cult, obviously they're gonna be meeting up. They're gonna have meetings, and it's gonna be very secretive, but it's gonna look like, looks are deceiving. It's gonna look like a friend group, or, they're gonna call it a community or organization and stuff. It's gonna be, guys, like I say all the time, it's very obvious. It should be obvious, but what I'm starting to realize is it's not obvious to a lot of people. Like, what's going on? Just really bored. I like that, man. So anyways, guys, we're starting back on YouTube. We're starting from scratch, man. I only got 90-something subscribers on here. But, I'm usually used to talking to 20 people, or at least a certain good amount of people, right? But I hear the engagement is better on YouTube anyway. So we're going to see, man. It's just not, I just have a very powerful testimony, right? I have a powerful testimony, and I got a lot of shit to say, man. If you can't tell, I got a lot of shit to say, right? So I'm not going to allow anyone to stop that. Especially if they try to stop it. I'm just going to want to do it even more, right? And I want you guys to be like that too. If you're passionate about something, if you're trying to expose a cult or a secret society or just some evil bullshit, and there's going to be resistance. They're going to come at you with everything they have, right? And if you're a TI, you know exactly what that means. You know exactly what that means, right? They're going to come at you at your job. They're going to try to get you fired. They're just going to do many different things, man. A lot of us are getting stalked, right? It's crazy. It's crazy out here. And it's very hard to believe unless you've went through it. You're going to have smear campaigns going on about you, right? So there's going to be many different smear campaigns. There's going to be many different things to tip you off that you're being targeted. And a lot of people are waking up. I'll say it again. A lot of people are starting to wake up to this shit, to the corruption, right? To what's really going on out here in plain sight. So guys, hit that like button. Show some love by sharing with a friend. And just know, let these little cults and let these little secret societies know they didn't stop nothing. You just got me more fired up. They wanted to report me for misinformation when I was talking about my testimony. Okay. Now I'm going to come on here and I'm going to go even harder. So that's like the little thing they're doing on TikTok right now. If you're a truther and if you have a powerful testimony, they're going to come on your chat, and whether it's Freemasons, Eastern Stars, a lot of these cults get paid because there's like a jealous person. I don't know, man. Some weirdo you might have pissed off, right? So it's like revenge for hire, and every single TI is different, man. But something happened along the way where you got a lot of people that are just trying to silence you, man. And that's a good sign. It's a very good sign, because that means you got something worth talking about. If people are willing to put money into shutting down your TikTok or shutting down your YouTube, just know, man, they're telling you right there what you're worth. I made many videos about this, guys. If you guys want to go check out my TikTok, that's where I got most of my followers. That's where I got all my powerful messages, guys. So I'm going to give you my username right now. It's legend_of_ and then loyal link. LO, loyal and then link. Like link up. And go check me out if you want, guys. You know what I'm saying? You'll see. If you guys go check on my content, you're gonna be like, yeah, this man's the truth. I haven't been really making content on YouTube because I've been focused on building my platform back up on TikTok. But this YouTube was, I always had YouTube as a plan B, you know? And I'm still debating like when my next account gets banned, because eventually it's a matter of time when you're exposing the kingdom of Doe and you're just doing what I'm doing. You're exposing secret societies, you're talking about cults, you're waking people up. Just know you're most likely gonna get banned. You just gotta plan for it. You gotta have a plan B. You gotta be ready, right? Just like I was ready the first time. So just be ready, guys. Just know it's coming. Just because you're worth that. You're worth that effort. So if you've ever got banned before, if you ever had a group coordinated effort to mass report your account, they're telling you with their actions, you're worth that. If they're putting 50,000 into, you know, destroying your life or sabotaging, then they're saying you're worth that. You're worth $50,000. Whatever they're doing, what people will tell you how much value you have by their actions. And that's a fact. And I'm talking to anybody who's ever been targeted, anybody who's ever been on the other end of a smear campaign. They're telling you by their actions. And if you ask them, they might say, oh yeah, you ain't shit. Of course they're gonna say that, but their actions say different. Their actions contradict everything they're doing, you know? People don't need to recruit armies for someone who ain't shit, for someone who's weak. You don't need to recruit 100 people for someone who's not worth it, right? You only do that for someone you think is equivalent to 100 people, right? And this is how, like, it's so... People wouldn't believe how easy it is to get targeted by a cult in 2026. It happens more often than you think. I'm realizing a lot of people just don't know what it is. They just think they're having bad luck, right? They think they're, oh, damn, I'm just having a bad luck, you know, bad couple of weeks. And it's like, no, there's most likely a coordinated effort on your life. All it takes is someone with connections, someone with evil intentions, and someone that's triggered by you, that's jealous of you, triggered by you, and they're hating on you, right? Like me, because of, you know, my accomplishments I've made on TikTok, and I've worked really hard, man. I appreciate the sub, man. I just worked really hard, and I'm proud of myself, right? I'm proud that I got banned when I worked very hard on TikTok. I had a couple viral videos. Almost had 6,000 followers. And then I was able to get almost 4,000 followers even faster in 2 months. So I don't know, man. To me, I'm very proud about that. And obviously, I couldn't have done it without authentic people, without real ones, man, without real people that were willing to, you know, show me support. And yeah, man. So I'm telling you guys, if you have a truth, if you have a powerful message, now's the time to speak it. Now's the time to get out there. And I'm gonna leave this on replay so anybody can watch it. Anybody can come and, you know, end up finding my page. Like I said, guys, if my TikTok, which is my main platform, if Loyal Link's main TikTok gets banned, I might just start doing YouTube, because YouTube, it's very harder for people to falsely report your account, right? On TikTok, you can basically have like a group of bullies, and if they want to, or anybody hating on you, honestly, if you have like a lot of haters and shit, TikTok's kind of, it appeals to the majority, right? So if you have like 100 haters and they come to your account and they report you all in one span, yeah, that TikTok's gonna go with the majority, right? So even if you didn't violate community standards, it's not gonna matter. So just know, but that, again, that just means you're valuable. If 100 people were willing to waste their time and they deemed you worthy enough doing that, again, guys, look at people's actions, don't look at their words. Anybody can say you're not shit. Anybody can say, oh, I'm not worried about you. But the fact that they made 100 fake profiles to stalk you and monitor your shit like a weirdo says otherwise. Yeah, guys, I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up. Hit that like button, please. Let's get, yo. I'm glad I did this. Glad I came on here, man. I would say I heard YouTube's even has even more people on it, especially like my audience, like my kind of people, right? I would say my kind of people are truthers, right? Anybody exposing secret societies, cults, Freemasons, Eastern Stars, talking about the truth. I just relate with authenticity. So, again, guys, quick introduction. I'm Loyal Link Lenny, and we're starting from the ground up on YouTube. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, man. Now, especially because they just got my live access revoked, which I go live every day on TikTok. Now I'm just gonna have to go live every day on YouTube. And I love YouTube because YouTube still has freedom of speech, right? Every other platform, they're taking away our freedom of speech. So they're violating our constitutional rights to freedom of speech. You can't share your personal experiences, right? Like I was basically sharing my testimony, and this is what got my live revoked. So I was sharing my testimony about how, before Christ saved me, before the Most High God brought me up out of the life I was in, that I was a former gang member. And I used to be in the streets, right? I was born into that. So I was talking about my experiences in jail, and that's what they flagged for misinformation, which is wild, But again, that's how I know it's an attack. It happens all the time. This is the 9th or 10th time it's happened. And that's why, I was forced to block fake accounts. Like I'd have fake accounts coming in my live, like user 5472. I blocked that. Another one would come in. I blocked that. Another one would come in, right? And it's like, damn, I'm basically put in a position where I gotta block all these people, all these weirdos. And it's crazy because I probably know them, or they probably know me, And maybe people from my hometown as well. I'm telling you guys, don't tell anyone from your past you're making content and having success with it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Especially if you're on TikTok and shit. Because they're going to make a bunch of fake profiles and they're going to come on your lives and report you. They're going to report your videos. They're going to mass report you. Right? And I asked TikTok, because I filed many appeals and I won a lot of appeals. Right? But sometimes what they do is, you have someone that's working at TikTok or working at these places, and they're corrupt. They can be bribed. They can be blackmailed, right? Especially if you're a target of the occult. If you're being targeted by the Kabbalah and the occult, bro, these people have reach everywhere. You don't think they have someone working in TikTok? And yes, it is that deep. It's spiritual warfare. People say, oh, why would they do that to you? Bro, why wouldn't they? If the Most High God has a plan for your life, and the Most High God, literally he has great plans for you, why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't the people at the top that have millions or billions of dollars, why wouldn't they protect their position? Huh? That's what I tell people. I like to answer a question with the question. Right? It's a beautiful day out today, though. I'm gonna stay on here till my phone dies. But yeah, hopefully they don't change. They don't change the rules of YouTube, because the one thing I can say about YouTube is they're still protecting our freedom of speech. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you don't have freedom of speech. You don't. You can't say whatever you want. And not just that, if you have a bunch of people, let's say you're a kid being bullied in school, right? Let's say you're a kid being bullied in school. Everybody from your classmate can come from your class can come on your live and report you for nothing. You don't even got to say anything. And then your live access will get revoked. That's a corrupt system. I think so. Because obviously the TikTok or Instagram, they're going to go with the majority because they're trying to appeal to the users, right? They think about it like this. They're like, do we want to lose one user or do we want to lose 100 users? You know, so that's how they think about it. It's all business. And it's corrupt. It's evil. That's what I was saying too on my last live. I said, people don't go with what's right. They don't choose what's right. They choose who they like, right? So if you're a CEO and you have benefits you can give others, yeah, of course they're gonna say you're right. You could say that grass is blue and everybody will agree with you and they'll argue. They'll fight. They'll be willing to fight you. Well, what do you mean grass is blue? Something that ridiculous. But it's because it's more beneficial to agree with you because you're a CEO. You'll get benefits. You'll be able to give them a job, right? So the majority, people are cowards, man. People are cowards. Most people I see are cowards, right? And they're jealous and they're nasty, man. That's why I stay away from humanity for the most part, right? I go out and I'm social and, I treat everybody with respect, but I stay away from most people because I have discernment. I'm able to discern people very, very well. So, guys, just know, anybody who is out there chasing their dreams right now, you're the minority. And that's just a fact, especially if you're trying to do this content shit, right? You're going to have people from your hometown. You're going to have a lot of people jealous of you, especially if you get a little bit of, you get a little bit of results. You get a viral video. If you're consistently posting content every single day, like most people aren't consistent anymore. And then they'll look at you and you get a couple thousand followers and they're like, oh, I want to do that. Or how do you do that? I'm like, bro, you can do that right now. Pick up your phone and make a video. They're like, oh, I don't have nothing to talk about. Okay. Well, literally go put yourself in a traumatic situation. Then you'll have something to talk about. Go through some trauma like I did. Go get into some shit. And then you'll come on here and you'll have something to talk about. So, anyways, guys, it's the first YouTube live, man. It's lit. And I don't care, man. We started from the ground up on here, man. We started from the ground up. I don't care if 0 people are watching. I don't care if 100 people are watching. I don't care if I'm watching. God's watching. This is how you gotta be. This is how you gotta be right here. If you really want to do content, you're gonna feel crazy a little bit. You're gonna feel crazy if you come on live and there's no people watching. You're gonna feel damn. You can't look at that. You gotta speak your testimony, speak about what you want to speak on, and people need to hear that. I say it all the time, bro. People are desperate for authenticity. This world is desperate for authenticity. That's how I was able to build a platform on TikTok so fast. I had my haters seething. I had these secret societies, these Freemasons seething. Because you got to think about it. They put thousands of dollars. You know how much work they put in to getting my account banned? Funded smear campaigns, paid people gift cards, did some wild shit, and still didn't do nothing. Because I said, okay, that account's banned. Watch this. Doop. Uno reverse. I'm going to get it all back. And I got it all back in 2 months. That's why I know I can do it. And that's why I get on here and I encourage you guys to set a goal, or if you want to make content, you can do it too. You just got to be willing to stay consistent, post videos every day, even though you feel like you don't want to, even if you feel like you ran out of shit to say, right? Sometimes I feel like I talked about the same shit like 100 times, but I still get on here and I do it. You know what they said about Mr. Beast? They said it took Mr. Beast 5 years of doing that. I know someone else, he said it took him 7 years. Everybody starts somewhere. I've been making content for about 2 years, all right? I must have had like, combined with those two profiles, about almost 10,000 followers with both of those profiles combined. If you took my last account and combined it with my TikTok now, Legend of Loyal Link, yeah, almost 10,000 followers. So guys, let me get back into the message, right? I've been talking about myself for too much now. Sorry guys, too proud of myself. Like, yo, bro, you've been talking about yourself for a minute. Talk about the content. What's a cult, man? All right, so back to what I was saying about what a cult is, right? A cult is, like I was saying, secretive. So a cult is going to be secretive, obviously, and it's going to be an inner circle. And if you're not a part of that inner circle, they're going to be very cold to you. They're not going to tell you anything. And guys, they're going to force their ideologies, their beliefs, right? And if they're trying to recruit you, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to feel like they're trying to sell you something. A lot of people don't have discernment, but if you have discernment, you should know. You should be able to feel it. Like, I can immediately feel when someone has bad intentions for me, right? I can just see it. I'm able to pick up on people's emotions. I'm an empath, so I can just tell when someone's not being genuine or when someone's being fake, right? So usually, if it's a cult, right, they're going to try to change you, right? And they're going to show up, like, let's say you believe in astrology, right? They're going to show up as someone that believes in astrology as well. Let's say you're a Christian. They're going to show up and telling you they're a Christian. They're going to be feeding you Bible verses. Whatever appeals to you, that's how a cult's usually going to approach you, right? And then they're slowly going to try to change you, right? A lot of people don't, like, I looked this up and it said a cult doesn't know they're a cult. Like, people that are in a cult right now, they don't even know they're part of a cult, which is crazy. They have no idea. So it's going to be secretive. You know, there's going to be like cult meetings and shit. They're going to be meeting up, you know. They're not going to be like me, who's a loner and doesn't have any friends, doesn't have any family members. Definitely not like me. That's the opposite of a cult, you know. I'm just some white crazy guy from Boston yelling on my phone. Oh, that's just what they say, you know. But looks can be deceiving, right? Never judge a person on their outward appearance. Never judge a person by any means like that, man. It says in scripture to judge a person on their fruits. What kind of fruits are they bearing? Are they impacting people in a positive way? Are they impacting people in a negative way? That's what you have to look at. If someone's saying, yo, I serve the kingdom of heaven and, oh, I'm God's warrior, and they're putting down people, they're bullying people, and they're sabotaging, yeah, bro, they're full of shit. They're full of shit. But if someone's claiming to be of the light and claiming to be opposition to chaotic forces, then you're going to see that. You're going to see their fruits. You're going to see them uplift others. You're going to see them motivate others. You're going to see them try to put out good and be kind to others. It's going to be quite obvious, right? But then again, we're in a time where people don't side with what's right. They side with who they like. If they're jealous of you, even 1%, if they hate on you, if they're intimidated by you, they're going to go against you, especially if that's what the majority is doing. Yeah, guys. So we're going to leave this chat up, man. We're going to leave this chat up. And hopefully we can get the same people on my TikTok over here, man. That'll be dope. But yeah, guys, it's going to be very obvious if it's a cult, right? It's gonna look very innocent, right? They're going to call themselves a community or a friend group, right? But it's going to be very secretive, right? They're going to be very closed off. And they're going to actually consequence you, right? Like, let's say they invite you somewhere or they give you a suggestion, right? And they say, hey, I think you should be doing this. And you don't do that, yeah, they're going to consequence you. In ways they can consequence you is they don't invite you to shit. They start acting cold to you. That's something a cult does, right? right? Oh, also, a cult has their own lingo, right? So they're going to have their own terms and their own language and their own lingo that only their inner circle knows. That's a cult, right? And it's going to be like a very innocent word. It could be something stupid, man, right? But only they know about it. That's a cult. And not only that, is there's benefit. They're gonna only look out for each other also, right? Like, let's say you and another person are working at a job, right? And the manager is, let's say the manager is, damn, I got my fingers are blue, man. I've been holding on to that kava for so long. Let's say the manager is a part of the cult too, right? They're gonna promote their people before they promote you because you're not a part of the cult. You're not a part of the inner circle. So there's just many different ways you can tell you're dealing with a cult. I gotta wash off my fingers, guys. Just drinking the kava, man. But yeah, guys, glad I came on here, man. Glad I've been able to do this. I'm just gonna have to get used to what I'm basically gonna have to get used to is I'm gonna have to get used to speaking on YouTube instead of TikTok. Right? I was trying to get that out there. I was struggling. But anyways, guys, just do your research. Anybody can tell you shit. Like, I can tell you something, I can give you advice, but what I'll tell you really is just to do your research. But be careful be careful with your sources. I wouldn't even trust most shit you look up on Google. Because you got to understand, there's a satanic agenda going on, and a lot of people that control the output of information are trying to suppress actual knowledge, right? And they like to change history and shit. You see many, many different situations of that. Us being lied to on the news, right? The news is, don't watch the news, man. That's how you get straight brainwashed, indoctrinated, right? But anyone that's truly awake, the Most High God, just pray to him. Pray to the Most High and ask him to lead you to what you're trying to figure out. Whether you're trying to figure out something about a person, whether you're trying to figure out something about some piece of knowledge, whether you're trying to figure out if that is actually from the Most High God, you need to pray on it, read scripture. Don't ask anybody, right? I guess you could, but it's like, I wouldn't even talk to the pastor. I would talk to God. You don't need an intermediary. You don't need to go see a medium. You just need to talk to God. But yeah, guys, I want to do another series on here. So eventually I'm gonna do that. I got a lot of different projects I'm working on. So one of my problems is, guys, is I start all these projects and stuff, and then like I'm never able to finish one of them. I get work done on a lot of them, right? A lot of the books I'm writing, a lot of different things I'm working on. I'll just work on it little by little, and then eventually I'll get burned out, right? So I'll have to take a break on it for like a couple weeks, maybe a few months. But eventually, when I'm finished with it, it's great, man. And I know it's great because a lot of people tell me that, man. They message me and they say, yo, I really appreciated the video, everything you're doing, right? And that's why I do this, man. I do it because if you decide to make content and you're helping people, like your videos are helping others, they're relating to it or whatever, if they're just telling you it's helping them, then it's not about you anymore, right? And it's very difficult not to get caught up in this, right? It's very difficult not to look at the numbers and look at the statistics and focus on just yourself, but you're making content for others, right? You want to help others. You want to wake others up, right? That should be why you're doing it. But if basically you get lost in the sauce and you start worrying about the wrong shit and you start, feeding into the bullshit and you start making content to, you start making content to please others, and to make money and stuff, like every time I see that, like people try to make content like to just make money and shit, like it never works out, or it always comes crashing down. You gotta make content that you enjoy making. Talk about what you enjoy talking about, because people are gonna see the difference. You're gonna be able to see the authenticity. You're gonna be able to see, well, you're just gonna have real followers, man. You're gonna have real supporters, and you wanna build your foundation off of, a solid rock. Just like it says in scripture. Yeah, you can make content to, like you can target a certain audience and make content to please that person and do that. But eventually those followers are going to fall off, and they're basically going to realize that, you're being fake. So I would just say 100% authenticity, always. Just be real about yourself. Share your testimony. Like what I do is I talk about the stuff that I used to do that was bad. I share my testimony like I did in this video, in this live. I shared who I used to be that I'm not anymore, right? Because the Most High God saved me from that, right? I've been clean for a couple of years. I've been doing the right thing for a couple of years, been staying out of trouble. I don't get involved in any gang activity, anything like that. I stay out of that. Because I've truly become a better person. I've worked on myself. I've done the work. That's why I have the level of clarity I do. And that's why I come on here and I try to teach in my own way, right? I don't know if I'm a preacher or anything, but what I do is I try my best to relay the wisdom I've learned over the years. So just the wisdom I've learned, everything I've been through, which has been traumatic things, man. If I told you guys a lot of the stuff I've been through, man, you'd be shocked. Your jaw would drop. Because it's not normal shit. And it's not anything that most people don't come back from it, right? And I'm gonna make more videos and more content going into that. I wanna put my whole life out there. I wanna tell my story, right? Because I know the Kingdom of Darkness, they love to tell my story, but that's not the right story. That's not my story. That's what they want for me. That's what they want my story to be. And they twist it, they add things on it, they maximize shit that, something small, they take it and blow it out of proportion. The same thing they do to celebrities, right? And some of us in the spiritual realm, we're real life celebrities out here, man. Everybody knows who we are, but we don't know who they are. And that could be a blessing and a curse, right? The Most High God said, you will be persecuted for my name's sake. Everything they did to him, they'll do to you too. They ostracized Christ. They demonized him. They attacked him. They set traps for him. They used to go ahead of him to the city let's say he was on his way to a city. They used to go ahead of him and set a trap before he got there. Imagine that. Imagine trying to trap God. That's how ignorant and egotistical these people were. And I just think none of that's changed. I just think these people have gotten better in their craft. I think they've gotten more evil. I think they've gotten more organized. And now we're just seeing the remnants of those same people, the Pharisees. These witches, warlocks, these cults, these secret societies, Freemasons, Eastern Stars. Those are the remnants of the same people that crucified Christ. They got the exact same heart posture. They're greedy. They only care about their titles. They only care about their money, their cars. They're selfish. And you know by their fruits. Anybody they're threatened of or jealous of, they try to destroy. They just kill, steal, and destroy. That's literally what they do. That's what's in their hearts. And now you got those of us that are actually, we have the truth, or the Most High God favors us, and he's working out of us. We're the ones that get ostracized. We're the ones that get demonized. We're the ones that get called crazy and all this other shit, right? The same thing they would have called Christ. The same thing they would have called the prophets. You know they would have been diagnosing the prophets if they were here this day. They would have called Christ, they would have called Jesus Christ schizophrenic. Word they would have. If he came out and said, hey, listen, I can do this, and they would have said, you're schizophrenic, you're crazy. Even if he did it. When you're able to see into the spiritual realm, you're a threat to the powers that be. When you're able to see that some people are demonically possessed or they're infested with spirits, when you're able to see that shit, and I truly think that these mental health disorders are that. And the reason why some people are just so fried out is because they've been told that their blessings and their gifts is a curse. Imagine telling Superman his super strength is dangerous. Imagine telling Superman that his powers are a curse. Or imagine telling him he don't have any powers. He's gonna be afraid to touch shit, right? He's like, damn, I can't even poke this car because the car is gonna go flying. And then people are gonna call me crazy. They're gonna tell me it's not really happening. Imagine that. Same thing with mental health. It's spiritual gifts. Like, yo, back in the day, they would have made you a seer. If you were displaying these signs of ADHD and all this shit, yo, the village seer would have came over and they would have said, you're gonna be the next seer. And they would have celebrated you. But now what they do is they throw you in a straitjacket. If you're able to see the truth, if you're able to see what's really going on out here and you know how the world really works, yep, they're gonna throw you a straitjacket on you, throw you in the loony bin until you say you don't see it. They're gonna ask you every 7 days, hey, do you see it? Do you still see the truth? Oh, you do? Okay, give them another 7 days. Medicate them. And then until you finally deny your gifts that God gave you, until you finally deny yourself and say, oh, no, you're right, I'm crazy, I don't see nothing. Yeah, then they'll let you out. After they finish drugging you. So guys, I would say if you are struggling with that, natural remedies. Go ground. Go out in Mother Nature. Start to love yourself. Start to work on yourself. And start to take natural supplements. That's the key. Don't fucking take none of that poison they're giving you. I mean, if it works for you, it works for you, man. But hey, the Most High God, He made you in His image for a reason. Right? Who are you to tell Him that He messed up? Yeah, hey God, I think you messed up. You made me wrong. You made me crazy. No. That's just what the world's convinced you. The world's gaslit you to believe. Because you can see through them. You think people like it when you can see through them and you can read them? When you just know things about them? If you're able to see through their mask, right? Like true discernment. My discernment, I'm able to see people's intentions. I'm able to pick up on their emotions. I don't know if they're sad, if they're angry, if they're faking it, right? They can say they're not mad, but I can feel it, right? Yeah, they don't want you to know that. They want to convince you that that's not really real, so they can protect themselves. Because if you're not working for them, if you're not on the side of the kingdom of darkness, then you're an enemy to it. If you're using your gifts to expose evil and your opposition to chaotic forces and you're waking up the masses and you're healing others, yeah, you're not, you're an enemy of the world, basically. Because it says in scripture that the devil controls this planet. He runs this world, right? So if the devil controls the kingdoms of this world, the governments, then you know basically who's running shit. Until the Most High comes back. When the Most High comes back, then obviously they're not going to be running shit for too much longer. But yeah, guys, it's a beautiful day out today. I would say it's a beautiful day for truth. It's a beautiful day for truth. I'm going to make that one of my catchphrases. I'll be good. I can't believe my fingers are blue. But yeah, guys, how you know it's a cult is, we're going to go over it one more time, right? It's secretive, number one. It's an inner circle, and they're going to try to change you. They're going to try to force their beliefs onto you, slowly change you from the inside, right? And they're going to be meeting up and shit. They're going to meet up. You stay in your house all day. You can't be a part of a cult. That doesn't make any sense, right? Like, I'm a loner, guys, right? I'm a TI, I'm a chosen one, and I'm a loner. I stay to myself on purpose, though. I do it because that's what I've chose to do. I'm very selective with my energy. I don't give my time or my energy to anybody that I feel doesn't deserve it. Not because I think I'm better than them, but because I know everything I've went through. I know everything I've endured. And the Most High God hasn't chosen me and worked on me for me to, allow people to take advantage of me. Allow people to, play in my face. So when you know your value and you start to set boundaries, watch who stays, watch how people start to treat you. The second you realize your boundaries, the second you start to say, no, I can't do that, or no, I'm not going to let you walk all over me, or no, I'm not going to let you do that or treat me like that, watch. You'll start to see you'll start to see people's true colors. I guarantee it. Those of us that used to be people pleasers, those of us that used to tell everybody yes, those of us that used to allow people to walk all over us, eventually, I would say that's the last stage of an empath. It's called the dark empath. It's when we become a little bit more cold, I would say, because we're more selective, right? We're selective with our energy. We don't allow people to, treat us like shit, treat us how they treated us our whole lives, right? So, guys, just be very careful. I told you guys a lot. We put a lot of information in this live. We didn't just talk about, what a cult is, right? We talked about a lot of good things, man. But this is my update video, my update live, guys, just to announce, we're going to be making content on YouTube. We're going to be doing this YouTube thing, starting from the ground up. So please, guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you're watching on replay, make sure you hit the like button. Oh, no, make sure you sub, right? And anybody that's a content creator and interested in making videos or just, collabing and stuff. Like I said, guys, my main platform, like I said many times, my main platform is on TikTok. So that's where I have most of my followers and most my engagement, right? But I'm going to slowly try to get everybody over here. But yeah, guys, we're gonna stop right there, and I'll probably go live again in a little while. I just want to charge my phone. My phone's about to die now, so I gotta charge my phone. And like I said, guys, I'm back, man. I'm Loyal Link Lenny, and everybody that watched, and for the 6 people that liked the video, hopefully we'll get more likes. But then again, we're starting from the ground up, so it's gonna take a little time. It's gonna take a little effort on my part, but I'm not gonna stop until it's done, all right? Love you guys. Like I said, I'm Loyal Link Lenny, and make sure you share this and hit the like button and let everybody know on TikTok that I'm over here on YouTube now, right? Peace.